Well, gang, I am weaving on this acrylic multi shades of brown and tan shawl that's on my little table loom. It's not too slow a project, although I've walked away from it a couple times. That's not unusual for me either. Thing that is unusual, this acrylic really tends to want to draw in at the edges. So I'm using a temple. I don't do that very often, but I do have temples that I can use whenever I need to. So I'm just changing colors of my weft. So I'm kind of locking it in on the side here. We'll lock that in there and then weave across like this. As you will see very quickly, if you look at it, I'm weaving 2x2 twill, or balanced twill, whatever you want to call it. And I doubt I'm going to make it much farther on that bobbin, but that's okay. 2, 3, 4. I've got another one sitting here. So we'll just pull that one through that far. Get rid of that bobbin. Grab the next one. Put it on and continue weaving. I'm not weaving real fast. And now that that's there, I'm going to move the temple up a little bit. And I better check to be sure how far I've gone. Only halfway. I'll show you what I just did in a minute. Get a little tangled on these bobbins. Let's check where we are again. One more set. Using the temple does slow me down a bit. You notice I'm not beating real hard either. Yep, I'm tangled up on that bobbin again. I don't know if you can see it. See that piece of yarn is the wrong side of the edge of the bobbin, so it's tangled. All we got to do is take it off, put it back on, And now we'll be able to go through again. And now it's time to change colors of weft again, so at least I think it is. Let's take a look. Yes. And I'll just show you how I check that. So if you see right here in the middle where I've got the white warp, or the almost white warp, notice the brown stripe that starts at this corner and goes diagonally all the way up to there. That means I've got the same number of weft threads as I do warp threads in this little square. That means it's time to change colors of the darker of my weft colors of yarn. I would do the same thing if it were this light brown. When I do the really light, the almost white, I'm going to do this, I start measuring so I go diagonally from this corner to this corner in the dark warp, but the really light weft. So I'll have a big square of white, a small square of dark, or down here a small square of the kind of medium, the light tan, as opposed to the white or the dark brown. That's the way I'm doing this pattern. May look a little bit silly, but I think in the end, when I'm done, it'll be pretty nice looking. So now I've got to advance the warp. Take out the brown and put in the white that's just got little brown flecks in it. Come here, get through there. So now I'm going to start this one over on this side. And then you'll be able to see that diagonal twill pattern against the dark brown. We'll just do a couple more shots back and forth on camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to advance the temple just a little bit. Like I say, I don't use these very often, but I'll tell you, this particular batch of yarn just really wanted to shrink together, so it's helping me. So let's move the temple out of the way. You can see right here I'm getting these diagonal lines. That's what tells us it's twill. It's 2x2 twill. So I'm going to cut off a couple of these little Irish pennants like that. There's a little one. There's a bigger one. They just sit on the side there until I get farther on, and then I'll throw them away. So that's the process I'm going through with this shawl of, is it Lionheart, Red Heart, something like that, acrylic yarn. But I think it's going to look fairly decent. Well, group, this is about the end of it. I can't advance it much more, and I've woven about as much as I can on the front, so it's time to cut this off. These aren't going to be exactly even, but I'll trim them up later. I think I'm going to twist the fringes on this thing anyhow. So it's cut off the loom. I'm going to move the camera just a second and show you the front. Okay, we'll take this all out. Loosen this and roll it up. Just loosely roll it up, right? Now we'll cut it off this end. I really should have a bigger scissors. And there we are, a finished shawl. Well, an almost finished shawl. The weaving part's done. I got to throw away all these little things, but... Well, weaving friends, another project done. This is the shawl that I had on the Ashford table loom. It was about 22, maybe 23 inches wide in the reed. I don't remember exactly what I did, but anyways, I finished it. Figured I'd put it on and show it to you. Haven't decided where it's going yet, but it's done. So, take a look at the back. And we'll just take it off, and as you can see, it's, hopefully you can see the diagonal lines in it. It's 2x2 twill. I think I told you that while I was showing you the weaving. So this is what it looks like. I was changing the weft every once in a while to make it use all of the colors that are in the warp as well. So it's got a little bit of a plaid type look to it, although it's not a true plaid. And let's see, how long is it? Well, it's just about as long as my arms can reach. And of course I did put twisted fringes on it. I do that on a lot of things. So, this project is done. I'll get on to something else soon. I haven't decided what. I still have that warp that's halfway put onto my big Louette floor loom. So that will probably be next, but I might do something else, don't know. So, as I like to end most of my videos, appreciate a like from you guys on the video. A subscription if you haven't subscribed would be very nice, I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment if you want on this or whatever else you feel like talking about. And until the next time around on here, bye-bye.